If you want to have a food storage filled with food that you preserved from your gardens and be able to eat out of it year round, then you need to do this now. Even before seed starting indoors, we need to do a seed inventory. Now, this is something that I normally do actually in the fall, but if you have been hanging out here with me, then you know I had a lot of health issues this past November and December, so I did not get to doing my seed inventory yet this year. So I thought I would just bring you guys along for a year of what it looks like in order from start to finish. I'm filming this the very last week in January of what it actually looks like to grow and preserve a year's worth of food for your family. So buckle up, let's go through our seeds. All right, let's get settled in. Got a cup of coffee because I don't know about you, but that always makes my planning projects go easier. Actually, everything seems to go easier with a little bit of caffeine on board. And I have my family garden planner journal. You could use a notebook, piece of paper. However, if you want a planner that helps you all the way throughout the year, then highly recommend the family garden planner written by yours truly. So, first things first, this is my vegetable seed organizer. I have a different one for flower seeds and like medicinal herbs, but this is for the annual vegetable garden. It's simply a photo box organizer. You can get them on Amazon. You can get it from Michael's. I know carries them too, lots of places. So I have our homegrown and home seed saved here, and I just throw these in Ziploc bags. For the most part, they do fit in here. I'm actually going to need to expand. I think I can have 2 seed organizers for vegetables, which isn't a bad thing. But what I've got here is quite a few different types of beans. So this is the October bean seed, and this is our Tar Heel green bean seed that my family has been seed saving these 2 varieties for over 100 years. So I've got these. This is this year's seed that we grew and just saved that will get planted. And then I have some other really just fun little varieties of some peas. And this is a Pellegrini bean. I always like to plant 1 or 2 new things in the garden every year just to keep it kind of fun and exciting. Because when you've been growing for multiple decades, going on our 25th year this summer of our vegetable garden with my husband and then I grew up growing a vegetable garden. I don't know, it's kind of fun. Like I always like to try at least 1 new variety somewhere. So here is all of these. I take them and just write with a Sharpie on them what they are in these little individual things. So this is my cauliflower and kale. This just makes it really easy when it comes to planting time to know exactly what's in there. And it's really funny because I have my little bean thing here, but we grow a lot of beans and seed save them. And so I actually need to have 2 containers of beans, hence the extra little floating bags here because I can't fit them all in here. But one of the first things that I'm going to do is seed starting wise, I always have to seed start peppers and tomatoes indoors. Those are the ones that they have the longest start time. And then if I'm growing onions by seed, those also need to be started indoors. This year I actually ordered some onion sets from Dixondale Onion. I just knew that I wasn't going to have the time to seed start my onions from seed. And I do have a few onion seeds in here that I may play around with and end up starting them. I really need to seed start them this week or I'm going to miss the window and it'll be too late for them. But then I also have some leeks. So those are a little bit different than just your regular onions. So just taking a peek there at that. So for my tomatoes, I'm going to see what I've got left here. So you can see, just open up this little packet. I did these called Anarita. They're a winter tomato, except last year when I was seed starting the tomatoes and the peppers, we had a little mishap. Apparently, using a permanent Sharpie marker on the little white tags when you put them in your seed starting pots, they still fade and they wash off. Yeah, believe it or not. So I have to come up with a better system. Sharpie will actually wash off. So I did not know what all of the varieties of tomatoes were. Now, for like the paste varieties, I could tell what those were pretty easy and some of them that were really distinct. But there was a couple of tomato varieties. I really wasn't sure what they were because it was my first time growing them and they looked alike. So I'm going to do the Anarita again. This is a winter tomato. You can just pull it up from the vine. It's supposed to store really well just at like room temp. So I'm going to try those again. And then I love to do an Amish paste. And I actually have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 packets of the Amish paste from different, this one's from Seed Savers Exchange, and this is from Siskiyou Seeds. They're all heirloom seed companies. So I am good to go for my paste. I've got plenty of Amish paste seeds for those. And then I've got the Galena cherry, which is one of our favorite, just like fresh eating cherries. And I've got a full packet of that. I generally try to keep almost 2 years worth of seeds on hand for all plant types, just in case something happens, that I have got them. And then this one was really fun. This was a new one to us that I did last year. It's called Black Strawberry. This one is actually from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. You guys, this one was a delicious tomato. So I'm definitely growing this one again. Let me see if I actually have, how many seeds I have left though. You know what? I've only got 4 seeds. So I'm going to go ahead and make a note. I'm going to reorder another packet of this one. See, and this is where it's fun trying a new variety every year or something, because sometimes you stumble upon one where you're like, oh my gosh, this is my new favorite. I have to grow it forevermore. And that was the case with this one. It was kind of like, it was in between like a cherry tomato, but they were bigger, like almost like a plum variety, but the flavor and texture were phenomenal on these bad boys. Plus they were really pretty. I'll show you a picture of them. I'll overlay it on the video. All right, we are set. I just need to order 1 thing of tomato seeds. So now on to our pepper seeds. This one I really enjoyed. This is from Uprising Seeds. Again, I order all heirloom seeds. I've got a blog post. We'll link to it beneath this video description if you want to know all the different varieties and the places that I order my seeds from, because I do order from multiple places. This was called Jimmy Nardello. It is a sweet pepper, and I really enjoyed this one. This one was a lot of fun, and it did really well. I got a good prolific crop of that one. And then I did some lipstick pimento and red ruffled pimentos, and they did pretty good. I just don't think I'm going to grow as many of them because I found that we just didn't eat a ton of these. I did use them in fermented hot sauce, however, and you can go and grab that recipe too. I like the early jalapeno. Here in the Pacific Northwest, our summers are kind of weird. Sometimes they're hot and dry, and sometimes they're really just wet and on the cool side. So I always go for earlies when it comes to peppers because my warm weather growing season is pretty short anyways. But this one from Siskiyou Seeds was a winner, early jalapeno, but I still have a ton of seeds, so I do not need to get more of that one. And then this one is just always my standby. This is the King of the North pepper. Again, northern, cooler winter climate, or summer, well, longer winter climate, cooler, shorter summer growing climate. And so King of the North kind of gives it away, does good in that type of a climate. But I really I want to grow more of these. I love when they're unripe, they're your green pepper. And then obviously you just leave them on the vine and they'll ripen and become your red peppers. And I actually prefer bell peppers. I don't like a lot of heat, so I use bell peppers more than any other pepper. So I am actually going to order 1 more packet of that because I've only got about half a package and I know I need more. All right, inventory on peppers. We're good to go. I just need to order 1 type of those. Now up next, and like I said, I go through my seeds in order of I know when I'm going to be planting these out. So I'm going to be seed starting those, and then will come our cool weather crops that'll get in the ground early for our spring crops. And that's going to be a lot of the brassica family. So cabbage does really well for me. And my favorite is actually, I like the Columbia cabbage from Siskiyou Seeds. That is a tongue twister. I like Columbia cabbage from Siskiyou Seeds, and I've got a full packet here, so I'm good to go. And then I've got a little bit left over of this late Dutch cabbage, and it did decent, so I'll probably grow a little bit more of that. But again, I've got like a full pack, so I do not need to order any more of that. However, I do not have any Napa cabbage, and that is one of our favorites for doing kimchi. So we need to get some of that on order. Then cauliflower, kale, and broccoli. Are you noticing a pattern here? And Brussels sprouts. I've got plenty of Brussels sprout seeds, so I'm actually good to go there. And I've only got I got 1 packet of broccoli seed. I will probably go ahead and order 1 more package of broccoli seed. Like I said, I always like to have my seed storage pretty much like my pantry. I want what I'm currently using, and then I want a backup for the next year. And this is how I always stay 1 season ahead of having enough seed. So we'll add broccoli to that. And oh yeah, I have no cauliflower and I have one package of kale. So apparently I grew a lot of cauliflower last year. So we'll put 2 packets down for that. Good to go on beets and radishes. I actually have a ton of beet seed left. Last year, funny story, I planted cucumbers and somebody at the seed company had a bad day and they put delicata seed in with the cucumbers package. And so I actually had an entire vertical arch of delicata squash. Grows great vertically instead of cucumber though. So I actually good on cucumber. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 unopened packages. Now winter squash. We love winter squash, especially delicata. It just grows really prolifically here and is something that stores great without me having to do anything. I still have a ton of delicata squash left that we're eating off of. But do I have enough? I've got plenty of early butternut. That's acorn. Delicata. Ooh, a lot of acorn. Do not need to order any of that. But I do need to order 1 packet of the butternut. Okay, up next is pumpkin. This is one of my favorite, the New England sugar pie. That's one of my favorite pumpkins to grow. And I definitely need to get more of that, as well as Long Island cheese squash. This is another great pumpkin variety. It's great for baking. This one stores really well. So if you are looking for a long storage pumpkin, just using like root cellar techniques, this one's the winner for me. And that's the Long Island cheese. And I've got quite a few of that, but I do like to grow some of the little New England sugar pie ones. So I need to order 1 packet of that. And then I also did the winter luxury, and that one was really fun and a pretty good store too. So actually, I think I put both of these in here so I would remember I liked them and needed to reorder the variety, even though the seed packet is empty. So I'm gonna just tuck these in on my note page and then I don't even have to write them down. And after I order them, I can toss them. Okay, zucchini. Zucchini is another one of our favorites, and I have 1.5 packets, so I'm going to go ahead and actually order 1 more. And then lettuce, checking on our greens category here. I can almost grow lettuce year round, which is really nice because lettuce does not preserve well in really any way, shape, or form. And I've got quite a bit. I'm good on spinach as well. I might order 1 more packet. I really like this little variety mix. So I'm going to do 1 cool weather lettuce mix. And then last but not least is our peas and radishes, which I can't quite close this one. It's pretty full. And I've got quite a bit of peas. We did some soup peas last year, which was fun, instead of just the snow peas. This is one of my favorite radishes. This is from Baker Creek. It's the French breakfast radish. It's just fast growing and it's really cute and fun. And it's a good eating one too. Okay, got great on sugar peas and snap peas, sugar and daikons. Okay, I've got a couple packets of daikon and persons. Actually, we're good to go on all of our peas and radishes. Now, a few things you did not see me going through and ordering is carrot seed. And that's because I seed saved my own carrot seed and it prolifically reseeds in the garden. We've got videos on that if you want to go and check and watch that out. And then, as I said, on the bean seed, I don't really ever order bean seed because that's another one that we seed save as well. And there's videos on that too. Now, if you would love to learn how to grow an abundant amount of food for your family year in and year out, then you're going to want to make sure and sign up for the free class that I'm doing this February. It's online, completely free to register. It is a live 1-hour master session, and the link is below this video, so make sure that you go and snag your free seat. And then I'm going to go and get my orders placed, because if I don't have those tomato seeds in time, then I'm going to miss the window on being able to get those seeds started, and that means I would actually miss out on an entire year of the specific varieties that I want. So having your seed stock on hand and inventoried is amazing. I, again, recommend doing it in the fall, but I happen to miss that window this year. So this is your reminder. If you don't have your seeds on order for the whole year mapped out and planned, I highly recommend doing it now. And then you don't have to worry about it. You've got all of that stock. And I double up on all of mine. As I said, seeds will store just fine in a dark, cool place. I just keep ours in our back pantry and these, and they will be fine for at least a couple of years, if not longer, on everything except onion seeds. You'll start to get a really low decreased germination rate on onion seeds if you store them beyond just a year. If you want to see more on what our food storage looks like, as well as more information, you can check out these other videos and links beneath.